The story kicks off down in Sonora, Mexico, and right away it drops us into chaos. A guy named Colt McCready, who used to serve as a soldier, barges headfirst into a cartel stronghold. He's not there for money or revenge at first. He's there on a personal mission. His niece, Haley Reynolds, has been snatched up by a dangerous cartel boss named Fernando Garcia, and Colt has no patience for talking things out. His sister had tipped him off about what happened, and that little piece of information was all it took to set Colt off like a ticking time bomb. Without a second thought, he storms inside the building like a one-man army, mowing down anyone who dares to block his path. The guy's a storm, relentless and brutal, smashing through enemy after enemy until he finally comes face-to-face with Victor Garcia, Fernando's nephew and his right-hand guy. Victor thinks he can stonewall him, but Colt doesn't back off. After an ugly, drawn-out fight, Colt practically beats the truth out of him. Finally, Victor gives in, guiding Colt to where Haley is being held. But Victor isn't ready to just hand her over. He tries to stall, pretending like he doesn't want to open the door. Colt doesn't have time for games. He rips the key right off Victor's neck, noticing there's also a flash drive hanging on the same chain. Colt pockets it, not even sure what it's about yet, but sensing it's something important. With the key in hand, he forces Victor to open up the room. Inside, Haley is tied down, scared and exhausted. Colt wastes no time. He takes down the guards, shuts Victor up, and finally gets Haley free. On the way back, Haley can't keep quiet. She wants to know why Victor would even target her. Colt doesn't sugarcoat things. He tells her flat out to ask her stepdad about it. It's a loaded hint, and it plants doubt in her mind. Meanwhile, at cartel headquarters, Fernando Garcia arrives to survey the damage. He's furious. He quickly learns that Victor kidnapped Haley not for money, but to settle a grudge with Walt, Colt's brother-in-law and Haley's stepfather. That decision now puts Garcia in a bind. He's livid at how messy the situation has become and swears revenge. He orders his men to regroup and prepare for retaliation. Back at home, Angela, Haley's mother, welcomes her daughter back with relief, hugging her like she'll never let go. She's grateful, but peace won't last long. Garcia, seething with anger, decides to drag in outside help. He calls up Sheriff Jasper Calloway, a local lawman who's as crooked as they come. Garcia makes it clear he wants Colt and Walt pinned for the mess. Jasper, who's already familiar with Colt thanks to his past military career, recognizes him from footage and agrees to play ball. At the house, tension builds. Angela and Haley are quietly getting ready to pack up and leave town altogether. Walt storms in, furious that Angela ever let Colt get involved. He insists they stick with him instead of Colt, but Colt refuses to play along. His only concern is Angela and Haley's safety. Heated words fly back and forth. Angela finally breaks down, admitting she only married Walt because of financial pressure. Her late husband left behind debts, and Colt had disappeared without a trace at the time. Walt had offered stability, even if it meant shady dealings like running drugs across the border. As their argument spirals, Colt notices flashing lights outside, a police car. Angela panics and tells him to hide while she faces Sheriff Jasper at the door. Jasper doesn't waste any time. He arrests Walt on the spot, accusing him of sending Colt to kill people. When Angela tries to protect Colt by playing dumb, Walt blows up, ranting and unintentionally giving away Colt's presence in the house. Jasper doesn't hesitate. He uses a loudspeaker, demanding Colt surrender immediately. Colt refuses. Jasper then sends in 2 officers, guns ready. Big mistake. Colt handles them like nothing and bolts from the house. Jasper almost takes a shot at Angela for interfering, but she deflects him just long enough for Colt to make his escape in a stolen car. Jasper, furious, orders his men to chase after him while he drags Angela into custody for standing in his way. The chase is wild and ends in a nasty crash. Colt's car gets wrecked, and the cops think they finally have him cornered. But by the time they approach the wreck, Colt's already vanished into the bushes, slipping away like smoke. Back at Angela's place, Garcia himself shows up, demanding answers. He's hunting Colt and that mysterious flash drive. Jasper informs him Colt slipped through their fingers. Walt tries to explain the situation, swearing he had nothing to do with the missing drive, but Garcia doesn't buy it. Enraged, he shoots Walt in cold blood right in front of Haley, leaving her traumatized. Despite seeing it all, Haley keeps her mouth shut about the flash drive Colt had snagged. Meanwhile, Colt hides deep in the forest. 2 of Jasper's officers stumble across him, closing in. Colt fights back, knocking one out, but before he can deal with the other, Garcia's men arrive, spraying bullets into the clearing. The standoff turns deadly fast. One of the officers gets killed in the crossfire, and things spiral into chaos. Cruz, one of Garcia's lieutenants, steps forward, telling Colt they only want the flash drive. Colt isn't about to hand it over. His refusal sparks a brutal shootout, leaving the last officer dead. Colt uses the trees as cover, maneuvering until he gets close enough to take Cruz head-on. The fight between them is fierce, fists and bullets flying, but in the end Colt comes out on top. With sheer grit, he overpowers Cruz, snatches his weapon, and leaves him dead on the ground. The tension keeps building after Colt's earlier fights. Fernando Garcia is furious because there's still no sign of Colt anywhere. Determined not to let him slip away, Garcia orders his guys to follow the trail left by Cruz, hoping it'll lead straight to their target. While waiting on news, Garcia questions Sheriff Jasper about who Colt really is. Jasper explains that Colt isn't some ordinary drifter. He was once a highly decorated soldier, someone who knew war better than most, but he also had a reputation for clashing with his corrupt commanders. That streak of defiance explains why he's now living as a fugitive. Garcia doesn't like the sound of a man with those skills being loose in his backyard, but Jasper tries to calm him down. He insists Colt will eventually show himself, especially if Angela and Haley are in danger, because family is his weakness. That reassures Garcia, at least for the moment. Sure enough, not long after, two of Garcia's men spot Colt walking across an open field. Instead of sneaking up, they try to take him out in one brutal move by running him down with their truck. Colt sees the vehicle barreling toward him, and at the last second, he does the unthinkable. He leaps onto the hood, rides it for a heartbeat, then rolls off to the side before the truck can crush him. Shots ring out, the fight spilling across the field. Colt, relying on his military precision, blasts the truck's engine with well-placed gunfire, forcing it to a stop and wounding one of the men inside. His calm aim and flawless moves make it clear why he was once so respected as a soldier. When the dust settles, Colt pins the survivors down and demands answers. He wants to know what's so important about the flash drive Garcia is after. One of the men cracks under pressure and admits the truth. It's loaded with sensitive secrets. The drive lists every dealer connected to Garcia's empire, where his stashes are hidden, and even his dirty financial trails. To put it bluntly, it's enough evidence to crush the cartel. Colt takes in the information, realizing just how much power he's holding in his pocket. He quickly finishes off the henchmen before rushing back toward Angela's house. Protecting Angela and Haley is all that matters to him now. Back at the house, Sheriff Jasper is having second thoughts of his own. Once Garcia's most loyal ally, Jasper tells him he wants out of the criminal life. He's tired of being pulled deeper into dirt that could destroy him. Garcia listens, but his response is ice cold. With a thin smile, he warns Jasper by hinting that his daughter could easily become collateral damage if he ever tried to walk away. The message is crystal clear: quitting isn't an option. Bitter but scared for his family, Jasper swallows his pride and stays loyal. Meanwhile, Garcia himself sneaks into Angela's home under the cover of darkness. His paranoia pays off. He catches Angela and Haley and uses them as bait. Calling out into the night, Garcia threatens to kill them unless Colt comes out of hiding. Colt, knowing he's cornered, has no choice. He steps forward unarmed, flash drive in hand, pretending to give in. But surrender isn't really his style. In a burst of raw adrenaline, Colt turns the tables. Chaos erupts as he dives into action, disarming Garcia's men and freeing Angela and Haley in the middle of heavy gunfire. Angela shows she's not helpless. She grabs a weapon and fights back at Colt's side, proving she can hold her own. Haley, despite being shaken, keeps her wits and manages to contact the state police for backup. For a brief moment, it feels like they might turn the tide. Unfortunately, things get complicated fast. The local cops arrive, but they're Jasper's people, and they only answer to him. That means instead of help, they bring more trouble. The house becomes a war zone. At one point, one of Garcia's men sneaks upstairs and ambushes Colt. The fight tears through the upper floor, bullets ripping holes through walls and doors. Angela gets grazed in the arm as she tries to take cover upstairs. Colt, pushed back by overwhelming fire, regroups with Angela and Haley in the bedroom. He urges them to climb out through the window and get to safety while he stays behind to buy them time. Angela and Haley slip out toward the garage, aiming to escape on a motorcycle. Just as freedom is in sight, Garcia steps out, blocking the path with his gun raised. He's about to pull the trigger when an unexpected shot rings out. Sheriff Jasper, of all people, takes Garcia down from a distance. For once, it seems like Jasper has chosen the right side, motivated by the thought of his own daughter. But that moment of relief doesn't last. Jasper, not wanting to take the blame, quickly moves to arrest Angela and Haley, trying to cover his own tracks. Before he can lock them up, Colt intervenes, firing at Jasper from across the yard. Jasper drops, but isn't finished. He was wearing a bulletproof vest. Rising to his feet, he faces Colt in one final showdown. Colt throws down a choice: handcuffs or a gun. If Jasper takes the cuffs, he'll live to face justice. If he grabs the gun, he knows how it'll end. Predictably, Jasper reaches for the weapon. Colt doesn't hesitate. He fires first, ending Jasper's life right there. With Garcia and Jasper both gone, the nightmare is finally over. Colt hands the flash drive to Angela, telling her to give it to the authorities. It's the key to dismantling Garcia's cartel for good. In the distance, sirens wail and police cars approach. Knowing his presence will only complicate things, Colt makes his exit. He slips away into the horizon, battered and weary, but carrying the satisfaction that his loved ones are finally safe. For Angela and Haley, the nightmare is behind them. For Colt, the fight never really ends, but for now he's content to disappear, leaving hope and safety in the lives of the people he fought so hard to protect.